Oh, I've got a story.
Oh, what's your story? Oh, I'm gonna go get a beer first.
Oh. Well, what? Fuck's sake, Owen.
Edit this bit out, Ed.
This is beer 3.
Yeah?
And last week, I was like, oh, do you want me to get that really nice, really cool whiskey that you like? And you were like, oh, I don't know if I should drink or not. Have I put you back on it, have I? This is an intermission. Let's see, there's a guitar in here. Let's play that. I've got my pick. Oh, it'll have to be fingerstyle guitar.
I'm back!
Thank God for that.
This is a tasty one. Do you want to taste?
I will have a taste, but...
It's fruity.
Oh my God, it does smell fruity. You know I don't like beer, though.
I know, but it's fruity. It's proper beer, that one. It's not like your crappy lager. It's proper beer.
I can't get over the foam.
Oh, that is a tasty beer.
It was alright.
I'd give it 7 ferrets out of 10 ferrets.
I mean, it was okay, but the foam, I can't cope.
Oh, go on. It's your news. Sorry, your story.
Okay.
I'll wait. Even though I was going to tell this earlier, but that was...
So basically, computer borked.
Oh.
Not my computer. The family computer.
Bork!
Internet won't internet.
Oh.
So my dad, I was like, well, he asked me what's wrong, and I said, well, I'm not an expert, but it could be a dead Ethernet port.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we swapped the cables and everything, tried all sorts. I said, it could be a dead Ethernet port, so I said, you should probably just buy a cheap Ethernet card to plug in. So we did that. He ordered one off eBay. It came the next day.
Okay.
From Amazon with a gift note attached, and it was the wrong one. So he looked on the guy's feedback, and all the comments were stuff like, if I'd wanted to buy off Amazon, I would have done. So what this guy's doing, this like Iranian random, he's putting a markup on Amazon products, and then when people buy them from him, he just orders them off Amazon to their address.
He's a genius. I came back in and immediately picked up my ruler with the nom-nom on the end. What?
Deary me. But yeah, it was the wrong one, and it still didn't work, basically. So I think probably Windows is borked.
Oh dear.
So I said reinstall Windows. He's like, whatever. So I said, I basically said, right, a new computer, right? Because Windows is about 120 quid.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So I was like,
or is it free?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, and a new motherboard's probably the same. I was like, well, you know, it's 120 quid for a new copy of Windows because you can't get the upgrade from Windows 8 to Windows 10 anymore.
Yeah.
So, and that might not work, but what will definitely work is a brand new computer.
Yeah.
Because that one's 5 years old now, which isn't ancient, but you know. And he goes, oh, a new computer like that'd cost 800 quid. Like, you're joking, aren't you? Herman cost not much more than that. It's like, it's only got like a 3rd gen i5 in. I mean, it's a decent processor, but...
Why don't you give them Herman and then make a new one for yourself?
Because I don't have £800 to spend on a new computer anymore.
Okay.
When I built Herman, I had the money.
Oh.
I absolutely no longer have the money.
I have no money, except I do have money.
Yeah.
That I am saving my pennies for a robot.
Well, there you go. I have literally £15.
Progress is 0. It's still on the floor from when I threw it on the floor last week.
It's a good job I come round, because you'd never get anything done.
No, that's true.
So I'm sure I had another story based on that.
I have a story.
Oh.
No, I don't. I don't know why I said that. Kind of a story. Somebody, if you go onto Flabbity-Doob and then go on up here, someone is developing a robot combat game called Robot Rumble 2.0.
Oh.
So if you go on their cheeky website, we'll have a look. See, they've made an eruption and they've made a carbide, and I'm gonna have to download it and give it a tasty try.
Oh yeah, you should on stream.
Yeah, I might do, or an edited video.
Oh, well,
because if I'm like, oh, I'll just do this, and then I'm playing, and then baby starts crying, I can edit that bit out with the video.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Oh,
these are all true things.
Yeah. There was another bit of story I had. The TalkTalk story! That happened last Saturday, but after the stream. Yes. So, guys, for those of you who are interested, which is no one, our internet was playing up for ages. We rang up TalkTalk, said we've got a problem with our internet. This was pretty much like, well, we moved in, then it took about 3 weeks for us to get internet, and then after that we rang them up and said, look, our internet keeps cutting out for no reason. They said, oh yeah, we'll send you out a new router. So they sent out a new router. It wasn't that. So they said, oh, we'll have to send out a TalkTalk engineer. They sent out a TalkTalk engineer. He said, oh, this isn't a problem with the house wires. It's external problem. So we'll have to get BT out. So they sent BT, OpenReach. Yep. They did their tests and they said, it's not us. It's an internal problem, mate. So they went away. A couple of days later, TalkTalk rang up and said, has your issue been fixed? And I said, no. And they said, oh, well, we'll send out a new router. So they sent out a new router. It didn't help. Oh, no, they didn't. And actually, no, they didn't send out a new router. They said, oh, we'll do some tests and blah, 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 blah. And then after a few months, they said, yep, we've still got the complaint. How is your issue? And we said, nope, still there. So they said, oh, we'll send out a TalkTalk engineer. And I was like, okay. So they sent out a TalkTalk engineer. He said, oh, no, it's not a problem inside, it's a problem outside. So we'll have to send BT out. So BT came out. He said, nope, not a problem on our side. It's an internal problem. So we went off. A few weeks later, TalkTalk rang me and said, oh, has the issue been solved? I said, no. They said, what? And I was like, oh no, oh dear, we're gonna have to send out a new router. That's the problem. That's definitely the problem.
It was the problem the last two times, wasn't it?
So they sent out a router. We plugged in the router. The problem was still there. What? So TalkTalk rang up and said, did the router solve the problem?
Amazing. That's amazing, honestly. How was the problem still there after all of that?
I know. So the TalkTalk said, is the problem still there? I said, yeah, no. They said, is the problem solved? I said, no. And the woman was like, what? And I was like, yep, problem's still there. And she's like, oh, let me just check I'll just check the notes that I got from the BT engineer. And I was like, oh, you probably should have done that before you rang up, mate. So she checked the notes and she said, oh, well, we'll have to do some tests, and then we'll get back to you. So
you'd think they'd test before anything, wouldn't you?
You would. But they're useless. Don't have TalkTalk.
Yeah, but they're better than BT.
Yeah, the TalkTalk, the internet is really good. Customer service is shit. Bleep that shit, Ed.
Yeah, Ed.
So, there's TalkTalk, there's BT, there's GIFGAF.
Well, I mean, they're all
Virgin.
There are a lot of providers, but basically all the internet is controlled by BT.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. If you've got an external problem,
it's BT.
It's BT's job to sort, and they're bellends.
Yeah.
Who don't sort anything ever.
I think it's GIFGAF, or no, the Yorkshire one.
Plusnet.
That? Plusnet. Apparently, their customer service is brilliant. Like, you won't get any better customer service.
We're on
but
Plusnet.
The internet's not great.
I think we're on Plusnet.
Oh.
But I'm not like me and Shannon, I meant.
Oh, yeah. So, she was like, oh, okay, well, we'll do some tests and we'll get back to you. And I was like, okay. And then about a month passed, and then I had a missed call from TalkTalk and a text that said, we tried to contact you, but we couldn't. So, give this number a ring within the next 28 days or we'll cancel your complaint.
Can you imagine if they'd cancelled it?
Yeah.
And you'd have to go through it.
Go through that all over again. So, I rang up this number and this woman answered and she went, hello, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, the voice!
It's the voice.
Oh, I'm so happy the voice made a return.
This is actually what she sounded like. I'm not just putting on I'm not doing a racist impression. It was literally what she sounded like. And I was like, "Hello, I've got a text here saying you tried to ring me and ring this number or my complaint will be cancelled." And she went, "Okay, we have no recognition of ringing you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, but you did. I've got the text." She was like, "Oh, okay, let me just put you on hold." And I was like, "Okay." So she put me on hold. And then she got back and she was like, "Oh," and then she
Mr. Johnson!
Mr. Johnson!
My friend!
"Oh, you're back!" I never left. So she did all this. She did like a test and stuff. I had to plug in my landline phone, house phone. What do you call them? Handset. I don't know.
Yeah.
To see how it had a dial tone. It didn't. And I was like, "Oh no, we don't have a dial tone." She was like, "Okay, Mr. Johnson, I'll just put you on hold."
Okay,
While I was on
Mr.
hold.
Problem.
Shh. I've had 2 beers.
Well, 2 1/3.
Yeah. And then while I was on hold, I realised that when Mr. TalkTalk engineer had come, he mustn't have plugged in our what is it, master socket? Is it called master plug? Master socket.
Maybe.
I don't know. He hadn't plugged it in properly, so I plugged it in, plugged the house phone back in. We had a dial tone. So I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, my mistake. We have got a dial tone." She's like, "Oh, that's fantastic news, Mr. Johnson." And I was like, "Yeah, great." So some stuff happened, and she was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna have to send out a TalkTalk PT engineer to your premises. You will need to be in, otherwise you will be fined £65." And I was like, "Yep, great. Send him out as soon as you can." And she was like, "Oh, tomorrow." And I was like, "Yep, that's fine." So they sent out an engineer. I think I told this bit of the story last week.
I don't know, you told the whole thing to me.
I can't remember. So yeah, so I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, send him out." So even though we'd already had 2 out at that point, and also 2 TalkTalk engineers, so then I said, "Oh, I need to go to Morrison's for some bobbies." So I went to Morrison's, and then while I was in Morrison's, I had a phone call, and I was like, "Oh, this is an unknown number. I'd better answer." So I answered, and it was, "Hello, Mr. Johnson, it's me again from TalkTalk." And I was like, "Yeah, boy, it's her." She fancied me.
Because she knew you were such a good father figure.
Yeah, that's the reason. And she was like, "I'll have to refund you for the time when you called us today to the time when the engineer comes out tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's great." And she was like, 89p.
You love the 89p refund thing, don't you?
It's great. Why? I don't care. Like, I would have paid 89p to get my Wi-Fi fixed. I didn't want it back. So that's the part of the story you know. So the next day, Mr. BT came and he was like, "Oh, I don't really want to be here on a Saturday." And I was like, "Oh, well, tough. You're here." So he was like, "Oh," so he went to the front of the house and he was doing his tests and he was like, "Oh, we've got a bad earth here. We're going to have to go to the green box at the end of the road to do it." So he went to the green box and then about 5 minutes later he came back and he was like, "Yep, found a problem." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, there was just a dodgy connection." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Yeah, that's it. I don't know why they haven't found this before." And then he went. That was it.
Like I said at the time, when you told me the story last week, how did 2 other BT engineers miss? This is why BT is so shit.
Yeah.
Because only 1 in 3 of their engineers actually knows what's going on, apparently.
No beds.
It's... Oh my god. And that's when they bother to show up.
Yeah. I'd laugh if that one was one of the engineers that came before. Because I don't remember what they looked like.
They all look the same to me.
Yeah. Mr. TalkTalk, the second one that came out, was also the first one.
Right, I bet he did a thorough examination of the property, didn't he?
He did. He had his iPad out and stuff. So yeah. So the TalkTalk ones, they were alright. They knew it wasn't a problem inside the house. It must have been an external problem, which it was. Oh, bloody BT. More like BP. That's like piss.
I can't comprehend how.
I know. So yeah, the internet's fixed. We've had no problems for the last week. So Yay.
Until one of those other BT engineers comes back and goes, say there is a fault, will you? Well.
Yeah.
And it like snaps a bit off. Like
someone will be
sort
like,
of Sebulba.
oh, Mr. BT. No, Mr. TalkTalk, I've got a problem with my internet. They'll be like, oh, some knobhead's moved you onto this one. This has got a dodgy connection. We'll put number 29 back on here. And then our internet will start messing up again.
Wait, so the BT engineer is like, you open up the green box and it's a big old-timey telephone switchboard.
Pretty much,
and there's like one dangling out, which is where you were plugged into before. So they unplugged you from that and thought, oh, Mrs. Johnson, she doesn't use much of her bandwidth. They just take her out of there, plug you in, and put her in the dodgy one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what they do. Apparently, I don't know how true this is. This is coming from people who say, oh, the driving examiners are only allowed to pass a certain amount of people a day. Which I think is a load of crap.
Well, yeah, obviously it is.
Yeah, but they were saying that in the green box, there's one port that's got like really good internet. So if you ring them and say you got a problem, they'll swap you onto that port. So then, problem's fixed. And then when someone else has a problem, they'll swap them onto that port, and then your internet will mess up again.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Ask for Mr. BT.
Because why didn't they do that for you?
Yeah, exactly.
And only allowed to pass so many people to...
Have you not heard that before?
No.
Oh, people say that. My auntie says that.
Oh, fuck off.
When I and Mepham failed his test many times.
Well, what? So how do they decide then? Do they do them all first and then just everyone else fails? Because my first driving test, I failed that, and I was at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
So...
You obviously weren't part of their they were like, maybe...
Look, maybe they decide based on how many points you get.
Maybe they decide on how well you drive that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I hate driving tests anyway.
Maybe they're like, oh, we can only pass so many people. So if they're bad, we won't pass them. So that only the good people are allowed to drive.
Yeah. If I was part of the DVLA, what I'd do is the head of the DVLA, not part of the DVLA. I'd say, right, you pass your test when your lesson person giver, your teacher, your instructor thinks that you're competent enough to drive. Because at the minute, you're decided on 1:45 minutes on one day. Like anything you could have like underslept. You could have that 40. It's like I hate tests. I hate exams because of that reason. You're only judged on that certain amount of time.
Exactly.
It's stupid. It's like one day you could be like, oh yeah, I feel I'm super happy today because everything's going well. Then the next day your dad could die, and then you're like, oh, my test's today as well, and then you fail. And it's like, oh, it's just because that's a bad day for you. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. Also, the hazard perception test is a load of bullshit.
Oh, I enjoyed the hazard perception test.
It's pointless. What does it show?
It shows that you can.
It shows that you can spam a mouse.
No,
yeah, because they're like, oh, if you're not sure what to do, look on YouTube. All the advice on YouTube is, oh yes, if you see something, make sure to click more than once because sometimes the system misses them. And also, just click periodically in case you missed it.
Well, they're wrong. Do you know what?
No, because that would work. It's like, it's not spot a hazard. It's click when it's already too late. Is what that game is. For example, there was one, and there was a tractor, and I could see the tractor behind the hedge. I'm like, right, I know how this video game works because it's not even real videos.
Not anymore. No, it's not. Is it?
No, it's like really uncanny valley, creepy, generated stuff, which is probably why I failed the first time because I was put off watching. Now the reflection on that car window looks great, but these hedges look terrible. So there was like this tractor going behind the hedge. I'm like, well, I know that that's going to be the hazard in a second, so I clicked then. But I'm like, well, there's no way that's when they wanted me to click.
Yeah. Because
in the examples, the only ones that were accepted was when the car nearly murdered them on the side and they clicked then. It's like immediately when you have to swerve out of the way of like children running across the road, that's when you're supposed to click. In what way is that being aware of the hazard? That's being constantly on edge, waiting to swerve off the road.
I found the hazard in the actual test itself. I found it really easy because it was computer generated, so you knew. Like there was one where he was driving down a road, and on the side of the road there was some kids playing football, and I knew that they wouldn't have rendered them in unless they were important.
Well, yeah.
So I was like, right, they're the hazard. And then the
surely-
ball's gone in the road. Click.
Surely,
Click.
with
Like
the influx of people using, dash cams and stuff, there is enough footage of real things like that. Why not just
Probably.
use some of that? Surely that's cheaper.
Oh, in Ireland. Oh, no, me num num.
In Ireland, they do exactly the same thing as they do here.
Yeah, they do a theory test and a driving test. Yeah, but do they have to do the hazard perception in the theory
Yeah,
test?
so in our theory test, there's it's half of it is like a multiple choice test, which is literally the easiest thing if you've looked through the highway code. Like I got 100% on that.
Wow. I don't know.
And I only failed because of the hazard perception, which I only got like 12, but whatever.
Well, why
it was pretty bad.
did you fail your driving test the first time?
Because the sun was really bright, and I think it had been raining. So basically, I missed a mini roundabout because the sun was reflecting off it.
Yeah.
So the theory test is half a multiple choice test, and then the other half is hazard perception, which is basically you sit at a computer screen, and they play these really weird CG videos at you.
Yeah.
And you click the mouse whenever something on the screen is a hazard.
They only have the multiple choice test.
You're lucky because hazard perception is bullshit.
It's alright, it's not that bad.
It honestly is, because it doesn't teach you to watch out for hazards, in my opinion. And also, you're sat there at the computer, like constantly looking out. You're not concentrating on driving.
Yeah,
you're concentrating on there's a bird, it's a child, there's a paper,
there's an old lady in
newspaper.
in the street.
There's some children who are just suspiciously stood close to the road, not moving for some reason. Oh look, here they go! Click, 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 click. And it's like
there's a tractor coming around the corner with a hedge.
Oh yeah, I won't click now though. I'll click when it comes around the corner and cuts me up.
Yeah, boy.
And then of course you have the actual practical test, which they're changing now. They're adding.
They've changed it already. Yeah. Mepham had Mepham had the old test. Apparently, 1 in 10 tests are the old test, and the rest are the new tests.
What's the point then?
I don't know. That's
is it because the old test is superior?
Yeah, obviously.
Because
do you know
they're adding reversing into a bay, which is
no, it's not reversing into a bay. It's driving forward into a bay.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Honestly, I legitimately believe that should be illegal.
Why?
Because it's so much safer to reverse into a bay for people A, looking for a space, and B, if you're, for example, in a school car park and there are children running between the cars,
you run them over on purpose.
There's a load of big old family hatchbacks stood there. You can probably see, a child over the age of maybe 6 over the bonnet of a car. You can't see them over the top of a family hatchback, can you?
No.
So if all the cars are nose out, you can see children for miles.
For miles.
Not to mention the fact that it's a lot easier to pull out. And it's a lot safer to pull out.
You should be taught how to reverse properly.
Then the big one that got me is they're not teaching you how to read signs anymore. They're teaching you how to follow a sat nav.
That's stupid.
Which, like, well, what if your sat nav dies? What if you're going somewhere that isn't on the sat nav, and you say, "Oh, yeah, whatever." Sat navs are still not that accurate.
No, they're not.
I mean, they're decent for the most part, but our sat nav wants 40 quid to be updated. So no.
What sat nav have you got?
I don't know. But yeah, like to update all the firmware and the maps and the road layouts and stuff, something like that. Apparently.
How much is a road map nowadays?
Like a 5 probably for a road atlas.
Should we have a look on Google?
I mean, you can go down to newsagents.
I shouldn't have had that third beer.
Oh, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
£2.
£2
for the AA Great Britain.
£2 or 40 quid, which would you rather do?
2.
Although, if you were driving and Shannon was in the passenger seat looking at that map, would you want that?
I would want to drive
have
into the nearest ditch.
Yeah.
I'd want her to sit in the back, honestly. I just hate driving.
I enjoy driving.
It's
relaxing.
I disagree. It's just boring. It's just hours of boredom.
A
told you not to have the third one.
I know, I shouldn't have done.
I told you not to have the second one.
The last time I had 4 of these beers was when we played Ball 3D Soccer Online before my own Metal
You know the Metal was playing that the other day?
Yeah.
It turns out it's all back on Steam. It's had loads of updates and stuff.
What? We're going to have to do it? What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This was in last September as well.
Where is it?
Because
is it in Good Games? No,
I saw it.
Yeah,
it is. I saw it being. Look, see, it's got trading cards and achievements now. 11th of January it was back on Steam.
What? You spent $9 for $9? You spending what? So you can buy microtransactions. What? View. How do I view the page? Store page.
Yeah. Mostly positive.
Yeah. Would it be better in 4D? Please improve. I've played 7.1 hours of Ball 3D Soccer Online. Mepham said that on Monday. Said what?
Probably that it was all back on Steam.
Look at that gameplay.
But yeah, they've added
Look at
new
that
game
graph.
modes and everything.
Oh! Have you heard of the Kingdom Come Deliverance?
The Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Kingdom Come Deliverance controversy.
No.
Well, here's some more news.
King Duncan.
King Duncan. So, Kingdom Come Deliverance. King Duncan it's
King
a
Duncan
game.
Revengeance, yeah.
It's set in, I don't know if it's the 13th century, the 14th century,
Or
in the
15th
Czech
century.
Republic. So, obviously, it's like the Middle Ages.
Oh, yeah.
People were like, it's like a super realistic, like life simulation basically with a really in-depth story.
Turns out you were just controlling some Slavs in, they were sending electrical impulses to their brains.
No. So I've said so too many times this video.
Yeah, it's not helping with the third one.
So, I nearly said it then. Does it? So,
you can't. That's the beginning of your sentence, isn't it?
It is at the minute. I've had too much. So,
just say the goddamn sentence.
It's a super realistic game.
Yeah.
And obviously, back in the Middle Ages, you know what women were like. It's like, so.
What, they had smelly vaginas?
Yeah. So you open up a codex page, like a diary page, about a woman, and it's like women are men's property, because that's what it was like back in them days. Yeah. It's super realistic. It's supposed to be like, super realistic. People are like, this is teaching children to be mean to women. It's like, well, one, why is your child playing this game? And two, it's a super realistic game. This is what it was like back in those days.
Tell you what it is doing is it's teaching them about actual history.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be really good.
I bet it's Americans doing that. They want to teach their children creationism as a science.
Yeah.
So,
Secondly,
they're not exactly the brightest bunch, are they?
It's set in the 13th century in the Czech Republic, so there are no black characters.
Oh.
This is racist! There are no black characters in this game! That's what people are like these days.
Yeah.
Awful.
It absolutely
Awful
is.
human beings.
No, it's like, there was a thing, I can't remember whose video it was on, but it made me laugh, because it was probably an IHE video, actually.
I like IHE.
It's like, oh, you say my game is bad, well, you're a racist, is what games media is now.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Dean Takahashi, like, oh my god, he's so bad at Cuphead, which he absolutely was.
Yeah, he was.
It was like, oh, it's just because I'm a Japanese person. You fucking what?
People today make me sad, even though I'm laughing at them.